What's going on YouTube? In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about setting yourself up for success, just improving at least even just as small as like 0.1% because that's still an improvement every day. For me, it has been a goal of mine, especially since the start of this year, to just do a little more than I did the previous day. That way, by the end of the year, I can look back and see how much of I have grown and see in what ways I can maybe tweak to then enhance the coming year to then and do the same thing. There's so many ways to do that for anybody. I mean, there's going to the gym, there's doing foreign language lessons, there's trading, there's gaming, there's reading, there's so many different ways that you can kind of take something that even you may not even want to do and kind of make it into its own little game to where you can see how you can take it and even improve upon it. Even something as mundane as reading, trying to see if you can just recall a little bit more than you did last time, or reading one more page, or doing one more lesson online, or going an extra 100 feet on a run, or 1,000 feet, or whatever. Just any way you can think of to improve. And it might not seem like a lot, but it is because you're looking back on it over a year and you can kind of see the compounding effect that that has. Because if you think about it, if you're just doing even just 1% better every day, that's 1% on this, and then 1% on this, and then 1% on this, and then 1% on this. And you can kind of see how much more you could be doing even by the end of 1 year just by kind of taking that approach to life and anything you do. And that's kind of the way that I've kind of tried to shift my mindset in 2024. I mean, even recently, I decided I was going to start trying to do more videos. I kind of want to do some of the reacts. There's a lot of topics that I feel like I can give my opinion on online when it comes to relationships, the dating world, marriages, games, politics, all of it. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I definitely do have an opinion on a lot of it, so I feel like I'd be able to at least give my 2 cents for whatever that's worth. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, in kind of setting yourself up in that way to then when you do get to the point that you set out for in your goals, the major and minor goals that you set for your trend line to follow, that you can then kind of turn it around and help other people with it. Now, for me, there's multiple reasons to do it for other people. Being a Christian, we're taught to serve, and I also believe that just helping people in general is really the best way to go about doing things, period. Even somebody like myself who has been a introvert all my life, it is something that I don't really like being around a bunch of people all the time. But there's also a part of it where it's like you just kind of have to do it. And then once you start doing it, you kind of realize that, well, maybe you didn't feel like doing it initially, but then once you start doing it, you find that it's actually not that bad. I hope that gives some help to people out there who maybe are feeling a little bit introverted as well. I'm not saying you have to go out and go to huge crowds because I don't like doing that either, but even just starting small in your place of work, or if you go to church or anything like that, go out to hang out with friends, maybe just trying to do a little more, maybe reach out a little more to the friends, or go out to a place to maybe meet somebody for even like 15 minutes just to try it out. Just trying to ease into the process of doing that. That way you can get better at thinking of ways to serve people, which in turn may help you accomplish your goals. I mean, it's kind of one of the nuances of YouTube as well, is that everybody is vying for everybody's attention, and so you're trying to think of ways that you can grab their attention. Now, along with that, it also brings about the point of trying to remain distraction free and all of that, because even in setting those small goals, it's still easy to talk yourself out of doing it because it may not feel good in the moment, or you just don't want to because you've talked yourself out of it and things like that, which I've done in the past more than I'd like to admit. And that's where it kind of helps to start really small to the point where it's like you really can't say no. I mean, you can even start as small as knocking off 5 minutes of viewing time at the end of the night and then trying to work that back a little bit. I'm not saying you have to completely cut it out, but maybe watching Netflix 5 minutes less every night for a week and then going to 10, or staying at the gym for 5 extra minutes to do that one last set that you were like, that was good enough. I think I'll just stop there. There's just so many different ways to not only be 1% better in progressing a goal, but also decreasing distractions in your life as well. I love that 1% rule. I can't remember who exactly I first heard it from, but it was reinforced to me by Jordan Peterson, who I look up to a lot. We may not agree on everything, but I do like a lot of what he says, and I do believe that there is merit and purpose in just trying to be better every day. And that specifically as a man, that is what we are going for, because we are trying to better ourselves to find potential mates. And so it can definitely be pretty hard to find reasons to stick to plans, especially, I mean, there's the 80-20 rule for a lot of things, but in this specific example, I'm talking about the New Year's resolutionists, where 80% have already given up in the first 2 weeks of January, their New Year's resolutions. And you can just kind of see that a lot of people give up on things a little too soon, and that just by simply writing them down and sticking to just small goals that you can eventually over time turn into bigger and bigger goals is really the best way to approach things, not only for yourself but for others as well. Because in the end, when you're able to implement better systems into your life, you're then able to help other people do the same thing. The last point I wanted to touch on is kind of having the perspective of that long term. I know in today's day and age, it's really hard with our TikTok brains out here, with the 3 and 5 second videos for attention span and all that. It can be really difficult to kind of see things on a longer term basis when we're just so short minded on everything. And that's where I want to try and instill in people to take the perspective on viewing the goals over a longer term period as opposed to what you see in the here and now. Because I mean, in the here and now, it might not be fun at all. I mean, going to work may not be the greatest thing to do. I mean, I've definitely been there where it's like I really don't want to go to work at all. But if you kind of change the perspective to be like, I don't want to go to work, but I'm still going to go to work and make the best of it, you can kind of see where even there, when you're at work and you're actually trying to do a good job, you can kind of see how just that simple change in perspective can even help the time go by faster. Because when you're busy and you're dedicated, the time flies. That was one thing that helped me a lot at my previous job, was just trying to find ways to stay motivated even when I did not want to stay motivated. And I'm trying to take that previous knowledge and then apply it to other things in my life, where it's like, if I can get really good at doing things I do not want to do, how much better can I be at doing things that I do want to do? So that's kind of where my head was going with all this. I hope that was at least a little bit of help to somebody out there. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to leave it down in the comments. If you liked the video, that would be great. And if you would like to subscribe for more, I plan on doing a lot more videos. Pretty soon I'm planning on doing daily uploads, because I I'm enjoying this process, so I want to do it more. So, but anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.